Welcome, everybody. Thank you all for joining me today. I am super excited. We're going to have some good guests. This is a friend of mine who built their own Irish pub in their house. It's totally legit. I'm paranoid, so I'm checking to make sure I actually am alive. Muck this up so bad week one. I just want to make sure. So I want to say hi to everybody. And the first one in here tonight, IC86. Thank you for joining me, buddy. Kathy Hewley, it's nice to see you in here. I'm not sure if I've seen you in here before, but thank you for joining me. Jim Pinch Hitter Whiskey Lounge, thank you for being here. If one of my mods, if you see a channel in here, please drop their link. I want to support all you guys. You guys have been so supportive of me getting started with this. Slapshot's Roadhouse. If you're not following Slapshot, give him please subscribe. He's doing just an amazing job. He started his channel about the time I started doing lives and set the bar really high and is just blowing it out of the water. Taste and Sensibility, thank you for joining me tonight. We have James Taylor here. Hey, James, how are you doing? Sugar Kitty. Cheers, Sugar Kitty. It is good to see you. We have Joe H. Holla back at you, Joe. Oh, Kathy, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Doug H. It is good to see you again, Doug. There is the link for Slapshot. Make sure you guys all give him a follow. James Morgan, thank you for joining me. I know it's a late one for you. See who else we got here. We got Richie Z in the house. And of course, I can't forget Mr. Mike Meyer. I love your profile picture, by the way, right now. All right. I'm going to bring in my first guest, who's my co-host, my partner in crime, ends up getting me to buy a lot of whiskey, Miss Lisa from New York.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I am good. Okay, it's only 10 o'clock your side. Okay, I was afraid it was a couple. James is in the UK, so I was afraid it was a little later than that. And speaking of Ireland, there's Cool Running, one of my favorite Irishmen in chat. Kelsey, thank you for joining me tonight. I hope you got your hand delivery. Oh, your clocks went back already. I didn't know you guys did that.
Oh, so does that mean they're only 4 hours?
They're only 4 hours.
4 hours.
James, let us know in chat if that's a UK thing or if that's an EU thing as well. I honestly didn't realize that. All right, I'm going to bring in the lady of the hour, the one who I'm honestly has a backdrop that puts mine to shame, frankly.
Everyone's to shame.
Yeah. From OByrnes Irish Pub, Amy.
Hello, everybody.
Thanks
for having me.
Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely.
So I obviously know Amy and Lisa from the Irish whiskey community, and Amy blew us away when we all are talking about our home pubs, and then Amy started sharing pictures, and you ended up creating an Instagram account.
I did, finally.
It got I think it's extremely popular.
It's getting there. I started it just maybe a little over a year ago. I'm up to about 637 as of today. So maybe I can get some new followers with today's little visit from everyone. I hope you like it.
Yeah. Hey, Chris. Cheers. So my good friends Chris and Lilith Morgan are joining us from Australia.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
So yeah, I will post it in the description later. Amy's Instagram at the OByrnes Irish Pub Instagram. It's to see the transformation that you have done is pretty amazing.
Yes, I have a hard time believing what we've done here. It's crazy.
And there's another gentleman that I believe we both know.
Hey, Brian.
He joined me a couple weeks ago. Hey, Brian. And James says, back to GMT is all I know is Europe probably changes it back soon for daylight, extra daylight. Okay. Oh, thank you, Brian. Oh, Sugar Kitty coming in hot. Thank you so much,
Ah.
Sugar Kitty. Sugar Kitty is such a great dude.
Thank you.
So what are you both drinking tonight?
Lisa, go for it.
Cheers, Rick.
Starting with the 2 stacks, the apple brandy cask strength release. It's pretty recent, and it's becoming a default. So
Do you have the bottle?
Oh yeah, sorry.
You want for the bottle? No, you're okay.
This is my first time ever on anything.
Me too.
I know I've sucked in all my friends into,
more
into
like
the whiskey tube community now.
more like a deer in headlights than anything else. But this is I don't even know where my camera is. Okay, there.
There you go.
There you go. And there we go. Everything.
That is a really, really good whiskey. I wish I would really hope that they would put that in their core lineup.
Yep, I would. That would be a regular staple for me.
Yeah.
And I love the cherry brandy release they had. Love it. But I think I'm in the minority that I'm preferring the apple one.
You and I are the opposite page with that. I prefer the cherry.
What are you drinking, Amy?
Amy?
I'm also on a 2 stacks. I chose 2 stacks, the craic.
Woohoo!
Here, let me hold that up there.
Yeah, you bet. This is the craic. This is made by 2 stacks. It's bottled at cask strength. It was bottled for our Stories and Sips Whiskey Club. So I chose this because it's that club that all of us got out of hand and so crazy and really took our love of whiskey to the next level. So here's to Barry and his group for,
Cheers,
like we always say, Barry made me do it.
Yeah. And we just recently invited Amy to join our group chat. We have a little message group on the side, and I think you were kind of surprised that the second something releases that how quick we all pounced.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. You guys are going to be very
like you setting your alarm for 7, I'm setting my alarm for 2. Or you setting your alarm, it's going live noon Irish time. I mean,
yeah, exactly. I did pick up that Polaris, so 1.2. I'm really excited.
I think everybody on screen here, there's quite a bit of Polaris 1.2 coming to the States.
Yeah, I really regretted not getting the first one. There was no way I was missing this one.
It's really good.
Yeah.
So tonight I'm starting with, since I got you lovely ladies, friends of mine on screen, I said, I'm going to pick one that another lovely lady, it's a favorite of hers. So we're going with the Bushmills Black Bush.
Nice.
This is, I think this is a favorite of Bushmills brand ambassador, Lauren McMullen, who just seems like an awesome individual. So that is what I'm starting with tonight.
Wouldn't you just love to sit down and have a drink with her? She just looks so much
Her and
fun.
Alex Thomas both.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I know. I would love to do that. They're a blast.
They seem, and then got another lovely lady, another Ohioan in the house, Christine Vasco. Sláinte, Christine. Thanks for joining us tonight. A few of us will be actually in Cleveland in December for an Irish whiskey tasting event that's going to be happening up there with Middleton, benefits Malachi House, which is a wonderful charity in Cleveland. They provide end-of-life care for homeless and indigent, and it's just they did it last year and raised a great amount of money for the charity. I'm really excited they're going to do it this year as well. So Amy,
Yes.
It's not every day you decide to turn kind of a clunky spare room in your house into, frankly, one of the most legit Irish pubs I've ever seen.
Thank you.
What inspired you to do this?
Several things. Well, first of all, my husband's from Ireland. His name is Mick, and still has family there. So we go back every year until COVID happened. I first started getting into whiskey in 2017. We were in Bushmills and we took the tour, and my whiskey in the past, previous to that, had been like a shot of Jameson in celebration for something. When I went to Bushmills, just the whole environment of it all, it was just so beautiful. And we did our tasting and learned how to actually drink it properly, learned how to taste it instead of just shoot it. So the rest of the trip, I would pick up some Black Bush here and there in pubs and enjoyed that a lot. And then I just started picking up little tasting packets, like the Redbreast tasting pack, or the one with Barry Crockett and Redbreast and all those in them. So I just started getting into it. And then we moved into this house in 2019. And a week later, we went to Ireland again. I visited a couple more distilleries. And then I'm like, okay, I really, really am digging whiskey and was really wanting to learn more. And when we moved into this house, we had this room. It's a 10 by 12 room. It was very boring. It was just a room that you passed by. There was nothing to it. It was useless
So
to
let's
it.
see if this is the before pics. See if my camera will actually.
It's not showing.
Can't really see it.
There it is.
Better.
Mhm.
Yeah. It was just a box. It was boring.
It literally is a box with a hallway running past it and an archway.
Yeah. So I've got those pictures up on my Instagram page. If you want to see them there, you can see them a little more clearly. So we'd always joke, boy, that'd be really cool to turn that room into a pub. So it was just something we, said, but, didn't take seriously at the time. So came back and gosh, what was it? 2020 COVID happened. And it was during lockdown towards the beginning of lockdown. I thought, well, I'm going to see if there's any Facebook groups online that, about Irish whiskey. And I found one and just fell in love, and I started learning more and more and more about whiskey. And we started accumulating some bottles, and we thought, okay, how are we going to put a pub together? Let's do this. How can we do this? So we started by extending the floors in here. We took out the carpet and extended the wood flooring, painted the walls. When you have a pub in the middle of the house, it's not like the guys over in, a lot of people over in Europe have pub sheds and it's outside. Well, this is in the middle of my house. So I didn't want it to be like a sports bar kind of a thing. I needed it to be homey and cozy and not look that out of place, because it's literally right in the middle of the house.
Yeah, it is. That's what I
I
think is funny. It's not like it's a spare bedroom or it's in the basement. It literally is right in the middle of your main floor.
No doors to close off on this room. It is
Here's
literally
Jeffrey,
just open.
Another one of my Ohio friends. Somebody, please put the link to Hello Again Whiskey Friends in chat. Jeffrey and Kelsey and Darrell just have a great channel. I'm really enjoying watching them.
I'll have to check them out if I'm not on there already.
Cheers, Cheech. Cheech Artolino, another fun channel.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what I think really struck me about your house. It's not like it's off in a corner. It's like you come through the front door. Here's my living room, and here's the pub.
Yeah, pretty much. That's it.
Yeah.
So it just kind of started small. My first piece was the church pew that I found. I was trying to figure out what I was going to do for seating in here, and I found this little church pew that's not quite big enough to hold 2 people in it. So I started with that, and I figured the room was too small to do like a real bar with taps and all of that. And so I started searching for credenzas and buffets and stuff like that, and that's where I came up with this piece behind me. Found it and fell in love, and then it just kind of all started piecing together a little bit at a time. And I think I may have been a little bit lucky too with it being during lockdown. I think people were rummaging through their crap and getting rid of it. And because now when I go on, I don't find as much stuff. So I think it was a great time to get started with it. I searched Facebook Marketplace and OfferUp, and I just tried to find the best deals that I could. I was trying to sink as little money into this thing as possible. And then just kind of, took our experience in Ireland, and, to me, there's no greater place to be than a pub in Ireland. It's homey, it's cozy, everybody's friendly. And I just wanted to bring that feeling here. And so that was what I was trying to do. I wanted to fill the walls with memories of our trips and memorabilia, and just, because when you're in a pub over there, you're just constantly looking around and finding something new to look at. And so I wanted to try and do that here too. So here we are.
And that's the thing. I wanted to yell at people too. I'm like, you see the thumbnail that I created? Yeah, totally stole that from Amy's with her permission. Stole it from her Instagram. That's actually in her pub.
Yeah, it's actually right here. That's probably my favorite spot in this pub. I just love that.
You do zooms quite a bit from that little corner.
Yeah.
So we're going to get a tour of Amy's pub. Do you need a few minutes to get ready, or?
Yeah, if you want to, I'm going to go dark for just a minute, or if you want to take me back, I'm going to move some crap out of the way and push my chair in so I don't trip on anything, and I'll be right back.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, we're dog sitting my brother's dogs. She's quite more vocal than our dogs are. Our dogs, they bark. You definitely hear it, obviously, since mine can stick his big fat head on screen, even though I'm on a bar top. So Lisa, you are one of the people who I tried Cologne and kind of fell in love with it, but you're one of the people that sent me down the flipping rabbit hole into Cologne mania. And when I had talked to it, we're actually going to be doing a future stream where we're going to do the rum and raisin
right?
Yeah, batches 1 through 5, which I just got a 5, so you don't have to send me that one.
Okay, cool. And then I think I drink very slowly, and I buy like most of us, we buy way more than we can keep up with. So
Yeah,
I have batches 1 through 5 still. Some of them are super low, but I'm saving it on purpose so we can do a very
and honestly, you are better at it than I am. You're very good about buying, doubles and triples of them. I'm
no, I don't.
bad about only buying like 1 or 2, and something else will come. And so I'm like, wow, I really
Not like our friend Jeff. I don't have.
Yeah, he's going to be actually a guest next week.
Awesome.
And we all kind of cracked up. He is one of the gentlemen who went over and did a whiskey bus tour of Ireland, and they visited, I believe it was 13 distilleries within 8 days, and just had all these experiences afterwards with the people who worked at the distilleries. And knowing Jeff as we do, we're like, I almost want to be like, what's the name of the container ship that you're going to have to use to get all your whiskey back over here?
How many boxes? I'm not sure he even.
I think he bought 75 bottles, I believe.
Yeah.
I thought it was 75. It's 75 boxes or 75 bottles. I think it was 75 bottles, but
I think he might
it was a lot.
Personally, paying for the operation, like the overhead costs for Irish whiskey auctions, just their shipping.
Yeah, this core little group is pretty much supporting the Irish economy single-handedly, I'm pretty sure at this point.
While we're not supporting our own family budget.
Well, that's the good, actually. Thanks to all these wonderful people in chat, I've actually not, I think the first bourbon that was suggested to me, I think I told you, wrong bourbon, was not the right bourbon at all. And these lovely people have steered me in the direction that I found some bourbon I really, really enjoy.
Yeah. I have noticed that those of us that love Irish whiskey, we tend to gravitate towards certain bourbons. And I mean, this could be wrong, it could just be our group of friends and connections, but I've noticed a lot of Irish whiskey drinkers too tend to veer more towards rye, like rye heavier American whiskeys, or just rye in general. So that's kind of interesting. I don't know.
And in the kind of the woody cask.
Yeah.
I think as well. Yeah, those. Although ironically, none of us really were huge fans of the Kentucky Red Breast Kentucky Oak.
No, I mean, it wasn't bad. It's a perfectly fine dram. Just of all the red breasts, I would use it.
I think we all, it was just missing something for me. I think it really missed the sherry. Amy, just give me a thumbs up whenever you're ready. Okay, she is ready. So we're going to get our tour of the OByrnes Irish Pub. So again, this is a room, it's a room off the living room in Amy's house. So Amy, let me solo you.
Okay. All right, here we go. Actually, when I practiced this earlier, I was doing it on, my camera video, and so I could turn my screen around, and I can't figure out how to do that on this program. So now I'm having to kind of look at the screen and walk backwards, but hey, we'll make it work. So this is my pub. As you can see, this is just in the middle of my house. Got a living room that way, a front door that way, and here's my pub. So I made that sign up top, and we're gonna just kind of come in a little bit closer on things.
So cool.
So I took a lot of pictures online and got them framed. I shop the dollar store a lot for stuff in here. These are just dollar store frames. I'm just trying to find some old pub photos from Ireland from the past. And I've got my shelves up at the top. Got the flags all over the ceiling.
James wants to know if there's any chance of a B&B booking.
And this is the desert. I live in Arizona, but you have to have a nice cozy fireplace. So it's nice to have one that doesn't actually heat up. So here's my credenza where I just turned into my bar. I was shopping for risers, to stack up my whiskeys. And my God, they were so expensive. So I just went to Home Depot and chopped up some wood and made my own. And they're working fine. There's so many bottles on there. You can't see how cheap and ugly they are. They're doing the trick. And I love, in pubs in Ireland, you see a lot of stuff around the ceiling. And so I'd love to be able to have a place to take the boxes and tins that the whiskey come in and to have a place to put them, because some of them are just absolutely beautiful. Over here, these are special here. This picture here, hopefully you can see it. This is Mick's grandfather, and that picture was taken.
Wow.
That picture was taken just before the Easter Rising of 1916.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah, isn't that cool? And then that picture right there, that's in Santry. That's where he's from. That's where his family still is. And that's when JFK came to town. So that's JFK's car going down the road in Santry. And that's an old picture of Santry there. So
I love how you incorporated, family photos in there as well.
That's a family member. That's his mother's father, I believe, there. He was a police officer there. So one of the things that I'll tell you that I did was I love taking advertisements, and I just put those in frames because they just add a lot to the wall. And then over on this wall, I have our pictures. These are our memories from our trips over there. This one down here, those are concert tickets from when Mick lived in Dublin when he was young. We got Queen at Slane Castle, Prince, U2, of course. And so it's amazing. It's so fun to look back and see how cheap tickets were. Slane, Queen at Slane Castle. 14.
You did get to go to, you have been to concerts at Slane Castle. So not everybody might know that Slane Castle, same Slane that makes Slane whiskey, and they have some pretty big concerts there.
Oh, amazing concerts. So the rest of them are just pictures, from our trip and, pubs and just, some of our fun times over there. Kilbeggan, that was one of the places where I was learning my love of whiskey, at a big tasting experience there. And I don't know, it's a lot of fun.
Hey, Emily, thank you for dropping in.
And then just recently, I hated looking out of the pub into like a boring hallway. So now I'm starting to dress that up, but I swear it ends here. It is not extending anywhere in the rest of this house. I swear this is enough.
So that's the funny thing. This extra room has now taken on a new life.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of kind of like Seymour from Little Devil Horrors, where it's kind of growing out of your house now.
I literally just did finish this one this morning. Remember the old packages of the John's Lane and the
yes, is that the map?
Framed it.
Oh, what a good idea!
I've always wanted to do that. That's why I keep buying the older.
Yeah,
you guys wonder why we're so crazy for these older bottles of John's Lane.
Oh, exactly. Now the last thing I just did here.
I love that.
So this is a curtain, just hung on the other side. I found this company called Vision Bedding, and if you go onto visionbedding.com, you can just put in Ireland. You can find all kinds of Irish landscape photos on there. And so I just had one put on here. That way, when we're in the pub, it looks like we're looking outside to an Irish landscape. So
remind me what castle that is. You told me earlier.
That's Ross Castle in Killarney.
Ross Castle. Wow. I just cannot imagine what your guests think when they come through the front door and that's what they're met with.
Some people are like, "Oh my God, this is amazing." Other people are like, "Oh, that's really cool." I'm like, okay, well, get out. I'm not giving you my whiskey, that's for sure.
Get out. Come back in. Let's try this one more time.
Yeah,
it's
right. So
it's amazing.
I have a whiskey tree. I don't have it turned on right now because the light was too weird on it. But right now it's dressed up for Halloween. But I just dressed it up with baby bottles of
Shelf Dustin. Thank you for coming in.
But yeah, that's it.
Oh, I love it, Amy. I hope that we get a chance to visit.
Tell you what, anytime you guys are in town, you better come over and we'll sit in here for sure and have a drink.
Love it.
What a place! I absolutely love that.
Have a nice walk-in.
So again, if you want to see even more detailed pictures of what you just saw, Sugar Kitty posted the link earlier. It is on Instagram, and Amy has pictures all the way back from when she first started, and it was just an empty room.
Yeah,
it's
fun.
I love it. Every time we all get together for a Zoom event, you're back at that little snug beside the Guinness sign, and you've got your old school candle holder with a real legit candle in it.
Whenever I'm in here, I literally have a candle burning. It's just part of the mood in here. But we have not eaten dinner at our kitchen table since we put this in. This is where we eat
Wow.
dinner. I'll have Thanksgiving dinner in here. This is just our hangout spot.
Oh, I love it.
Like I said, it's like the best HGTV makeover.
Agree. I agree completely.
And no
There's the
TV in
answer.
here. There's no TV in here, only music. It's just a place to come
There
in.
you go. That's good praise from an Irishman.
Sports stay in the other room. This is just for talking and having fun.
That is so awesome.
Thank
I
you.
love that room. If somebody would, in one of my mods, please post the link to Whiskey Mountains. Adriana is going live at 7:00 tonight. We're going to wrap up at 7. That way all of you can immediately go over and join her for her live tonight. I'm super excited to watch that one. And I'm super excited that we have another fun gentleman, Alex Briere, the Moose, our friend from Canada. When does the Shawnee show up? Oh, I love the room you have. Obviously so what brand do you gravitate to? Because I see Middleton back there. I see Jameson. I see Bushmills. I see Redbreast.
Redbreast all the way. I love Redbreast. Beyond that, I love the Spots. I think Method of Madness is an amazing whiskey. But yeah,
They're
Redbreast.
doing some really unique stuff at Method Madness. They really are.
Yeah, I would really like to expand my collection of those for sure.
Do you have a favorite of the Method of Madness?
That's hard to pick a favorite because they're so vastly different.
It's true. It's true. Or
Yeah.
I mean, or of the ones you've tried. I mean, I know like I think no matter where you are, it's hard to try all of them, even if you're over in Ireland.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't release. Well, no, they have actually kicked up the amount they've been releasing. So
Yeah. It used to the basics used to be kind of easy to find here, but they're getting more difficult to find.
they are.
Yeah.
They are. And I have not opened the oat malt yet. I don't know if either of you picked up the oats and malt, which is the latest Method Madness
Still
release.
sitting in Dundalk on a shelf.
Yours is in Dundalk. Okay. Yeah.
I should ship it, but I'm waiting.
I've got things in Dundalk as well that are going to be heading this way next week, I think. So your bottle is in good company.
Yes. And if I can remember what else it's sitting with, I have no idea.
I think my favorite is probably the wild cherry wood, especially this time of year. Honestly, that bottle just reminds me of, we have a big apple orchard just northeast of where I'm at. And it just reminds me of walking through that apple orchard in the fall because it's like fresh red apples and kind of grassy notes and almost like straw and just, it's so freaking good with the woody notes. I'm hoarding the last little bit of that bottle.
Have either of you started a infinity bottle?
I early on started collecting like the remnants of other bottles to make one, but then I got to a point where it was just taking up space. I think I still have it somewhere, but then like the really good bottles, I didn't want to make an infinity bottle from those remnants. I was like, no, I'll drink this.
No.
So,
You're going to flip. So I have MBR 2017 in my infinity bottle.
You know what?
Only like a half ounce of it. Only like a half ounce.
It just helps it keep on going.
I do break that out for coffee. I've done a neat pour of it, but I didn't do anything peated or any. It's all Irish, but I did stay in that lane at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've used it for coffee several times. It's pretty good.
Mine is amazing. I keep the peat out of it. I don't want any peat in
Yeah,
there.
I don't think you even the 2 stacks that even
No.
just that 2% peat. I don't think you can do that.
No, but
I think the McConnell's is the only thing I have in there.
Yeah, my infinity bottle, I really enjoy it. I'll drink it neat, and it's so complex, and the flavors just it's like they're bouncing all over the place. It's an interesting bottle. Of course, it's always changing, but I really enjoy it.
That's really cool. Is it all Irish? I assume.
All Irish, yeah.
Thanks. That helps. So all Irish, no non-peated. Yeah, I mean, I feel like you can't go wrong with that, right?
Yeah, it's interesting. It's just kind of fun to do, and I'll just kind of write down, what I put in there and how many mLs in each, pour that
Cheers,
I do.
Isaiah. Thank you for joining us today. I do the same. I do ounces, and I don't think I've ever put a lot of anything other than maybe Bua, just because I can get Bua pretty easy around here. But yeah, how many do you have in yours? I think I have probably 20 in mine.
Oh, wow.
I'd say probably 12 or so. The base of it started with Black Bush. I wanted to give it a nice base, and it's not terribly expensive, and it tastes good. And so I started with that. I'd say beyond that, I have quite a bit of Listau in there that I finished off because we've done a lot of Listau bottles, and so I'll always take the end of it and put it in there.
Oh, well, if
that would be really, really good.
Amazing if that's a big part of
I
it.
think I started mine was Jameson Cooper's Crows, I think was the base for mine.
Oh, nice.
And granted, nothing is more than an ounce. I mean, that's probably the reason I have 20 in there is because it's a half ounce here, quarter, just whatever won't make a full pour. Right. Which speaking of, so I moved on to my second, which is
nice.
JJ Corey the Hanson. Nice. Stick with our ladies theme tonight. This is Louise McGuan. It's her company. She's the master blender. Absolutely love everything from JJ Corey. It's just that woman. Oh, you've got the Gale.
The Gale.
That is my favorite daily drinker.
I'll do that one next.
I love it.
I love that, man. I swear she could put one hand behind her back, blindfolded, and standing on one foot, and could outblend damn near anybody.
Yeah. It's agreed. I scooped up a whole bunch of. I couldn't get my hands on a bottle from Tiny Tipples. They're
when they went out of business. Yeah,
they're closing up. I scooped up a whole bunch of samples of the Banner County one.
Oh, the Banner.
Yeah, and it's I really that's a regret I have not being tuned into that one earlier to be able to get some bottles. But.
Same. I wish I had every batch of the Gale. I started with batch 2, and then I have the US 2 bottles of the US because the second it hit here and I didn't have to pay any more for shipping. I immediately went to the store and snapped them right up.
Yeah, I actually have batch 1.
I like whiskey. Cheers, bourbon. I sent Ben a few samples of Irish. So he got to try the Gold Spot.
Nice.
I thought of you, Stacy.
The Red Spot. I love Red.
I love Red Spot too. I love red.
So James has tried the Redbreast Cask Strength B122. And I've actually heard that's the best Redbreast Cask Strength in several years. Is that B122.
And that's a good price, actually. Isn't it?
80 pounds?
Yeah.
That's about what it is here. It's 99 in Ohio.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, it's not here.
You pay less than that?
Well, I won't pay it. Oh, no, way more.
Oh, you pay more. Oh.
Yeah, it's why I get so much from.
It's a good thing you're going to be in Ohio coming up here soon. So
going through Pennsylvania. I'm driving, so I'll be going through Pennsylvania, and I'll be in Ohio. So.
Adriana is asking how often you all pour from the infinity bottles. I don't a lot. Honestly, to be perfectly honest, because I forget I have it half the time.
Yeah, I don't pour mine very often because I just don't want it. I don't want to have to load it back up again. So not that often, but I would say maybe once a month. Probably not even that often.
So would you empty it all the way before you started again, or would you just kind of keep?
No, I tried. I've never gotten it all the way full. I think as high as it's gone.
Yeah, mine's only 3. There's still about a quarter of the way to go, but I'm calling it.
Yeah, and I would say I just try never to get it below halfway full.
Ooh, okay, it's always more like yours is almost like a continuum cask. You're just
I keep adding to it. Absolutely, I keep adding and taking and adding to it again.
Which bottle did you create your infinity bottle in?
Infinity Irish bottles are in fact a thing, bourbon.
It is this one right here. This is a bottle that my husband got it in Bushmill.
Oh, that's nice. I love it.
This was a distillery edition.
Let me, Amy, hold that up again.
Yeah.
Wow.
It has his name on it.
Oh, nice. That's perfect.
Wow.
Oh, I love it.
So I think he got this, I think he said it was around 2006 or 7. And he just always had the bottle empty up on a shelf, and now we make use of it out of our infinity bottles. So I'd say it's probably gotten as high as about here before, and now it's, you know, a little over halfway full. I try not to let it go below that.
I have the bottle I use is actually an old Cooper's Crows bottle, and a certain gentleman from Cork that we're all friends with, they gave that to me, and I had just this little bit, and that's what started mine.
Mm-hmm.
So it's I don't use it often, and like I said, honestly I forget I have it around because I'm kind of like you all are drowning in whiskey at this point. So my bathroom, my basement bathroom is the best bathroom. If you're ever at my house, that's the one to use because that's the overflow storage for whiskey. So.
And don't until you've consumed all the good stuff.
Yeah, who needs extra towels? I mean, whiskey space is far more important.
Yeah,
it's there's like light bulbs and towels and whiskey in that cabinet. It's a little crazy. That's why I would love to get deeper into bourbon. I've actually I share with Lisa. I did pick up a Calumet 16, which is really, really good. I'd love to have another Yellowstone limited edition 2022. I just can't snap everything up because frankly the Irish are killing me right now. They're one right after another right now with Christmas coming up. So
I haven't even ventured down the bourbon or Scotch trail at all, and I want to, but on the other hand I don't. I mean, I can't keep up with this. I mean, it's just
it's I think Irish, honestly, I don't think it used to be this bad, and I think it is. They're getting to where the releases are as bad as Scotch and bourbon. They're just one right after another.
Yeah.
What latest releases are you guys interested in?
Well, I know, same as you, that Lakeview Estate, the inaugural.
From Wayward Irish.
Yeah, their own distillate. I'm on the fence because of the cost, honestly, but I am considering it because I love everything he's blended and sourced so far, and I know it's really special, but we'll see. But other than that,
if you don't, I'm fairly sure I know where you can get a sample.
You think so? Do you think I have your address so I can raid your house?
So I absolutely love Maurice O'Connell that owns Wayward Irish Spirits. He is, he's an Irish lord. He actually is Sir Maurice. His just the family history. My goodness, I someday I'm going to get over there, and I'm like I said, one of my bucket list items. I just want to sit on the porch at Lakeview Estate in Killarney and just have a drink with Maurice and just hang out and hear all his stories. But he also is like, hey, by the way, the Liberator Batch 5 is about to release as well. I can include that when I drop your bottle off to be shipped. Like,
you're like, of course you can.
Farm, yeah, okay. And then of course, when I let them know that was coming, I also found out that they still had a batch 4. So yeah, it's that's turning into more than one bottle that's going to be coming this way. That's how it starts. Like,
habits.
Yeah. Another release, Amy. What is another release that you're excited about? Because now that we've included you in our group, you're going to be subject, unfortunately.
Oh my God, I know. It's like
all of this stuff.
I have avoided ordering directly from Ireland. I've just been trying to get, what I
it's a little too easy.
Buy here in town, and or when I pick up over in Ireland and bring home. But so now I might start diving into ordering from over there, and that could get really dangerous quick.
That's when it happens. That's the slippery slope, and then then you realize half of your whiskey you didn't buy in the States, and you're like, oh God, who do I think I am?
Yeah. But the exchange rate right now makes it so much easier and more affordable. So you've got to take advantage of it, really. So I think I'll start doing that. Dingle's just come out with a new one for Halloween.
The Samhain.
Yeah. I'd be interested in that. I really enjoy Dingle. I find it very different. I had an opportunity to go to a Dingle tasting while I was in Ireland at the Long Haul pub, and picked up the bottle that they released for the long haul. And it was funny because the next day we went to Dingle and went to the distillery. I met Graham and Faye and did a tasting there. And, I enjoy their whiskey a lot. It's very different. It's very, man, it's just like a flavor bomb. I describe it. It's a lot of flavor.
Yeah, there's a lot of flavor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there is. So I'd be really interested in trying that one. So
yeah, unfortunately for the Australians, the exchange rate is kind of not the best for all them. I always say, you know, Ontario and Australia are the two black holes for whiskey, just as far as getting it there.
Mm.
And Ontario, just that they have so many restrictions. But.
I bet. Now, if I were to try a bourbon, being that I'm a Redbreast fan, that's my favorite. What would you recommend I start with?
All right, yeah. So I'm gonna also ask chat because you guys all know bourbon. I'm gonna have you guys chat as well. James actually put an excellent recommendation for Scotch, and I have a bottle of this. Flip and love it.
Yeah.
Is Berclata Classic Lottie.
Mm-hmm.
It's bourbon finish. It's light. It's a little higher ABV. And just a really, really good bottle.
Yeah, that
I really enjoy it.
I remember just watching a show about Scotch distilleries, and I think that was highlighted on that one. That sounds really familiar.
So it's going to sound familiar to those of us in Irish whiskey because Mark Renier, before he was at Waterford Whiskey, was at Berclata.
Okay.
And the bottle's really, it's like that light baby blue kind of canister, the bottle as well. So it stands out like the classic.
I think University of North Carolina Tar Heels, like that blue in a big fat tube.
Yep, that is definitely the bottle because we were watching that show and just the way they were describing it, my husband and I were like, we need to try that one. So that's interesting that's what you say I should start with. That's really cool. I'll definitely pick that up.
Yeah. So the one that I think I'm excited for, other than the ones you mentioned, is the bottle that just released on Friday, which actually wasn't a whiskey, but a poitín. And that is I'm going to ask Lisa how to pronounce it. It is a collaboration between Killowen Distillery and Blackwater Distillery.
Oh.
Is it a do?
Oh, God. It's either do or do. I know it means
a do. It's A''D''O, but it's Gaelic. So
it means do in Irish Gaelic.
I'm going to defer to maybe full running on this one because we will butcher the crap out of that. I'm just telling you. But I'm really excited for it because it's actually the first time that a distillery in Northern Ireland and in Ireland have collaborated together to produce, a spirit. So that's really, really exciting. I'm excited to try it. It sounds really, really interesting. I only got the bottle from Killowen, the one that was through Umbrella Project. I didn't get, I guess, I think you have to go to Blackwater to get the other one.
I think their site, the Blackwater site, but I am a little confused.
Cheers, Donald. It's good to see you. Donald Rants, so much freaking knowledge. I'm someday I'm going to be able to sit down and have a drink with him. Yeah, I wasn't sure if they shipped. Well, I don't know if it matters if they don't ship the US, like it ever matters with us. Considering, Lisa, you and I managed to get a bottle from the Netherlands. So that cherry brandy cask that we were talking about, that was a Dutch release that Lisa and I spent an hour on the computer trying to decipher enough Dutch that we could order it and get it shipped.
It's not that. I mean, it's like a nice combo.
It actually wasn't. Yeah, you did really well at it.
German and English and a few other things.
You did really well at that. Oh, Taste and Sensibility has some good recommendations for you, Amy.
Oh, nice.
Wild turkey, really? Okay.
Oh, interesting. Oh, that makes sense. The Old Forester. Yeah.
I do really like that. That was one that actually Bourbon's Bourbon that was in here earlier recommended, and I really, really liked it.
They have a good selection of bourbon at our Costco, so I'll keep a lookout for those there as well. Because their prices there are amazing.
Maker's Mark, I will tell you that I did not. Somebody recommended Maker's Mark to me. The regular Maker's was cherry NyQuil in a glass to me.
I would say if you're going to do the Maker's 46,
hi James, thank you for joining us today.
I don't know. I don't really drink it anymore, but when I was younger, that's what I preferred Maker's like over Woodford, but like in my 20s kind of thing.
I have heard that Maker's 46 is the one I need to try.
Well, now if you're in a place where there's such a limited selection, am I
in a place where there's a limited selection of bourbon?
and you have to.
I'm 90 minutes from Kentucky, so
And
that's
not you.
for me.
Maybe us, but not you.
Not for me, yeah.
Have
Hey,
you done the bourbon trail?
cheers, Adam.
Have you gone and done that bourbon trail? And
I have not. I have never actually. Well, I can't say never. I have been to New Riff. Basically because it's right next door to Party Source where we buy all our Irish whiskey. But I have not been to a tour of a bourbon distillery in the state of Kentucky other than New Riff.
Been to the
I know I'm slacking, and yeah, I'm 90 minutes from the state line.
So ironically,
gotta
before I knew anything about whiskey, I was at one of the first years of the Bourbon Festival in Bardstown. This was
That's the first time I met you.
No. This was like,
oh, that was a different time. Okay.
No, this was like when was it? Probably the mid. I don't even know if I went with my husband. So my husband's from Cincinnati. They have all, like many people, lots of Kentucky roots, and they go back down a lot. And we went with some of his family. I feel like 2006 or something, maybe 2005, 2006. We went to the Bourbon Festival in Bardstown, and I didn't know. I knew I liked whiskey, but I knew nothing about it, and it was all like the significance and the special, and it was lost on me. But I feel like I tried really amazing stuff that I didn't understand at the time, but it was a fun time. It was really fun. I don't think it was still small and kind of more like regional. It's not like no one knew what it was if I had told them outside of the area, at least in my world here in New York. It's ironic because I don't know. I wouldn't go now, not because it wouldn't be great, because I'd go to an Irish whiskey festival. but yeah, when I think about, I was there like when it was first starting out, but it was lost on me. It was kind of.
And you went to the event it was a couple years ago, and that was actually the first time, as much as we had talked back and forth, it was the first time we'd actually met in person.
Yeah, that I don't. I went to the I got certified as I went to the Moonshine University out of Louisville to get the executive bourbon steward certification. And what was appealing about it was that it was easier at the time than going to Ireland. It was this was over like a year and a half ago, and they have an in-house basically distilling lab. And so you learn, yes, it's focused on bourbon because that's what they do, but the principles of whiskey are still there for all whiskey. And they have this really awesome in-house distilling lab. And from start to finish, you learn everything possible. So it was really worthwhile. And I felt like at the time, if I couldn't leave the country, that was something I could do to try to get more education. So
it sounded really interesting.
Really cool. And there's really good people running it. They're amazing. And it was great.
So it's my final pour of the evening, and because I really appreciate both of you being on my channel today, and I appreciate everybody in chat. I'm like, let's go big. So I'm going to do the first Causeway release from Master Blender Alex Thomas. I know all of us are fans of Alex, and she did amazing work at the Sexton. I know she's going to do even more amazing work with the Causeway bottles. So this is the 2002 Causeway Vermouth cask.
Woohoo!
And this is the first Irish single malt ever finished in vermouth. So 20 years old.
That's awesome.
It's interesting. I'm telling you, for her first two, she knocked it out of the park between this and the Pomerol.
Good for her.
Yeah.
So Mark says Four Roses was his intro to bourbon. I went with a small batch select. Might be a good one to try. Also, a Buffalo Trace is a good intro. I've had both of those and totally agree with both of those.
Yeah.
And I think as Irish whiskey drinkers, our palates are different. Mm-hmm. Honestly, I think we have an easier time with Scotch than we do bourbon. It just, the cherry, I picked up on that right. Like I said, I think Maker's Mark, totally wrong choice for me. Totally wrong. But thanks to these guys, I've been able to discover things that I do like. Bourbon got me hooked on Old Forester. And others have suggested Penelope. Well, I picked up a Penelope 4-grain, loved it. Picked up a Penelope Toasted, loved it. Picked up a Penelope Architect, loved it. So I definitely have some brands I like. Chris Tatz turned me on to Yellowstone. Yellowstone Limited Edition 2002 was one of the best whiskeys I've had all year of anything, Irish included.
Nice.
It's Marsala, like that red spot.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's really, really, really good. Really good.
Oh, there's out of Texas, a woman owned and operated distillery, Milam and Green, and she does a bourbon and a rye, and I think there's a finished rye as well. I can't remember what, but if you ever, they're worth trying. They're really
sounds interesting. Now, where you have access to Kings County. I know there's a lot of Kings County fans in here.
There's a lot. I don't drink it as during like lockdowns and stuff. I think I was doing a lot of online tastings through Kings County, and I appreciated all of it. And they do a lot of experimental stuff too, which is really cool. I haven't been drinking it for a while though, but it's really good. Knob Creek.
Adriana, yes, you actually got me to try my first bottle of Knob Creek. I bought a Knob Creek 9. Instantly was hooked. And then she said, well, the store picks are even better. So I have two picks from that and I've had a couple others from Knob Creek, and I'm a big Knob Creek fan as well. Can you become an Irish lord the same way you could be a Scottish lord? I don't know.
That is my guess.
I'm sure you can. They have the internet thing where you can buy a piece of land and call yourself an Irish lord. Morris is not that. Morris is a legit, like, Sir Morris.
Oh, you can. He checked.
Hey, Kathy has been to Milam and Green.
Oh, that's really cool. I would love to go if I ever get down there. That's really great.
Donald says you haven't lived until you've had some of the Scotch Malt Whiskey Society Cooley and Bushmills releases. I have heard that. I have heard that their barrels that they have access to are absolutely amazing. And Ben says, never mind, just checked, you can. Yeah, I completely agree with taste and sensibility here. And we all have American distilleries that we've actually all connected with as well, such as Talnua in Colorado, to the point where Lisa and I actually flew out there for an event that they had.
They're crazy.
It's amazing how you just kind of fall down the rabbit hole with some of this, and you do have a connection with some of these distillers and some of these distilleries. My first journey was Jameson, and to my love of rye, Old Forester, Middle West. So Middle West is actually 20 minutes from my house. And Christine, I love that you've probably actually been there before me. I just went to Middle West the first time about a month and a half ago. So bad on me. I should have been supporting my local distilleries, and I wasn't. And they actually have some really good stuff. They really do. I could see Scotch being easier. It's more of a cousin in terms of climate and barrel influence, and I totally agree with the climate.
Also, the grain, if you think about it, I mean, it's
the grain. The grain's more similar with Scotch. I agree.
And I don't know. It's good.
AC Jones. Here's Anthony, who is going to be a guest on my next show. Anthony was also on the Whiskey Bus. I am excited to hear some of their stories because they went on this tour. They went to these distilleries, and I don't think even they knew the kind of backstage access they were going to get. They probably tasted things that we never ever will. So Glenfiddich 14, Aberfeldy 12, Glenlivet 14, Wild Turkey 101, Old Forester 100, and Four Roses small batch. I would also add in there Glenmorangie. That actually was the first Scotch that I liked.
Do you, Amy, how about you? Have you had a bunch of experiences with Scotch, or not really? That's what you were saying earlier. You were looking into it.
I really haven't. I got into Irish, and that's where I have just stayed.
Okay.
And so it's time to branch out for sure. I'm like in awe of you guys' knowledge of all this stuff. You guys are so way. I've been busy building this, and now it's time to.
I mean, you only build a pub that's probably better than every. No offense, if any Irish pub owners in the Arizona area are on here, but that's better than any Irish pub that you could actually go to
Oh,
Yeah,
thank
I
you.
in
agree.
Arizona.
Yeah.
Thanks. I'll tell you what, it's been sad since COVID happened. I think 3 or 4 Irish pubs in the valley have closed down. It's
That is sad.
yeah.
We had one, we had a downtown pub closed down here, and it was just because people aren't working as much downtown.
Yeah,
And I'm sure the rent was through
one
the
of them turned into a British pub, and we went and tried it out, and it's changed. They put TVs up, and it's more of a sports theme. They just completely ruined the whole thing. I miss it.
It's a shame. Yeah.
Yeah, but now I don't have to go out, and we don't have to worry about driving home. And
So do you find that and that's something I myself find into, where we go to the pub and I'm like, well, I'll have a Redbreast swell, but I got better stuff in my house.
yeah,
Yeah.
You have a better pub at your house. I can't even imagine. Like, I have better whiskey at my house. You have a better pub at your house.
well, now we just need to move closer and combine forces.
I
Yes.
agree.
I agree.
I
Absolutely.
think we need to make a trip to Arizona sometime
Absolutely,
to visit you.
you're welcome anytime, for sure. For sure. Yeah, I mean, I want to share it with more people that really appreciate it. I've got friends, but they don't drink whiskey. They're not into it. So they think it's a cool room and stuff. They can't really get into the whiskey. I did have a couple over a couple weeks ago from the club, and man, we got ripped. We had a great time. We had a really good time.
That happens. I imagine as you bring people in and like, well,
Yeah,
let me pour this for you.
yeah, it was a lot.
You
of
do
fun.
have quite a nice collection behind you.
Yeah, you do.
It's good, and I'm always trying to replace bottles that I'm emptying instead of just trying something new. I hate emptying a bottle. I've got several Method Madness sitting down there that just sound low, and I can't even get myself to open it because I don't want to empty it. I'm terrible about that.
No, I think you're not alone there.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I get down to that last third to
Mhm.
last quarter. I won't touch it.
Yep, I'm the same.
And I've had it sitting there, and because there's always more coming out, and I'm like, okay, well, I need to replenish this, and yeah, it's the same thing.
And
Yeah.
it's
So I have one more thing I want to tell everybody, because we have 3 more minutes. Several of you might have noticed this incredibly awesome shirt, Whiskey Tube Family for Life, and it has all of our channels, mine included, on here. This was created by Scotch Down Under. So I'm going to put the link in the description after the stream. If you're interested, go buy one. He's got several different versions, and they're all really amazing. And much love to him. He had a stream this weekend to raise money for air conditioning. He's in Australia. They're about to start their summer, and his whiskey room is about to be a sauna unless he gets an air conditioner. So I'm really excited that yesterday he was able to raise money to do that for him. Ken is just a great guy. He goes live. I try to catch him on the weekends here because he goes live at 8:30 in the morning our time in the East Coast. So I always try to have my Irish coffee ready to watch Ken, and it's a good time. Well, thank you both for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Amy, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Everybody follow Amy's Instagram. I'm going to make sure she's going to be, I know you will. You're going to keep adding to that pub and keep posting more and more videos and more pictures so we can follow along and kind of watch how everything evolves. And the stuff you're doing is it's so cool.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you much. I appreciate it. I'm so excited about your channel and everything that you're doing and bringing the knowledge.
Well, I hope you come back, and we would love to see you in the pub again. I'd love to have OByrnes Irish Pub on here again.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime. Just let me know. For sure. I enjoyed it a lot.
It was a treat. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lisa. And Lisa, I've volunteered that she is going to come back, and we are actually going to do not really a Killoan flight, a Killoan kind of the dive into Killoan rum and raisin batches 1 through 5.
I think, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I've never
done
them, so
I think I'm gonna have to get you to agree to another one, because I think you and I also need to do a Killoan punching night. We have
I don't
damn
know.
near, I think we have every punching they've ever made.
I
Damn near.
think I might have used all mine with all of my drinks.
I've got it.
Okay.
I got you covered. All right, everybody.
That's
It
great.
is 7 o'clock. Please follow follow over to Whiskey Mountains. Watch Adriana. Adriana hates rye, so this is going to get real interesting.
Ooh, good
Yeah.
luck.
Yeah. Good luck, Adriana. And cheers, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. Sláinte.
Cheers. Thank you.